Audio Jungle.
Knees pressed into the cold marble, my shaggy, unwashed hair draping over my head, I remained unmoved. Once more, Khali, we have brought you here to atone for your sins. What do you have to say for yourself? The high priest inquired of me with a voice far too shrill for a man. He was dressed in his white garb, donned with gold frilling and jade jewels. With eyes still locked on the floor, I responded curtly to his inquiry. I have nothing to say to you, priest. The religious man smiled, turning to his king with a look of mischief and cun. You see, he stands before God and the chosen king, yet he remains vile, he whispered into the king's ear. Khali, raise your head, the king demanded, and look me in the eyes when you speak. I raised my head toward them with a look of annoyance on my face. You mock me, my king, for you have taken my eyes, and yet you ask me to look. Silence, or we'll have your tongue as well. You should be thankful your merciful king let you live at all, despite your sacrilege. I think it to have been a mistake, which is why you are here before us today. We are holding a second trial, the priest shrieked. I laughed. I could hear the people of the court gasping and whispering, yet I continued to laugh even harder. A trial, you say? You call this a trial? I do work for the people, for the betterment of mankind, and you punishing me because it's an affront to God. I turned roughly to where I could make out the crowd was. This hollow king, with poisonous words echoing within him as evil snake whispers lies into his ear, is that who you want running your kingdom? The one your children live in? Silence. The king screamed. I turned back toward the two of them. The priest, voice filled with narcissistic tone, followed up the king's words. You have angered the gods for the last time. I lifted my head up to the sky, seeing naught but an ocean of blackness, like a night with no stars. Prove it, fool. The crowd gasped and the priest shrieked with offense. How dare you? You mock the gods. You, naught but worthless scum, would act so brazenly bold before them. You see, my king, this is what I have told you about. He cannot be allowed to live when he treats the heavens with such disrespect. I am a vessel for the gods, your grace. He offends me directly. Let the fucking king think for himself, you worthless old bag, I growled. You are the vessel for nothing but idiocy and foolishness. More gasps from the crowd, and another shrill shriek. The king sighed loudly. Khali, you have worked with me for many years. Your books of astronomy and technology have done much for our land, you know that I appreciate what you've done. However, I brought this priest on to protect our land, to help keep it from withering with death and evil. You cannot reject it as you have, and try to disprove it. Tell me, my king, what has this fool done for the kingdom? What has changed since he was brought here, besides me being held in prison for most of my time? I've made differences in people's lives. There's physical evidence of my work, as people now have steady access to things like eyeglasses and telescopes. My efforts with lenses have let us peer into the heavens, rather than sit on the ground praying about them. You think me unwise for my decision to bring this man here? Yes. I won't dance around you, trying to prevent offense. The plain fact of the matter is yes, you made a mistake. This man will do nothing but poison the land. My science has helped people, you've seen it yourself. Meanwhile, his prayers and rituals. What have they truly done, when you look closely? What has changed besides your heart? The king took a deep breath, mulling on his words. I decided to continue, while I had his attention. Sire, I'm blind and even I can see your conflict. You want to do what will help the people, help your land become prosperous and strong. With science and study, this can happen. It doesn't have to be a dream or a prayer that our problems will be solved. Yes, religion has a place, and it is important as well, but you can't cure a man with prayer. When your son was sick, it was medicine that saved him, not an incantation. My king, kill this insolent man, the priest screamed. His blasphemy can only be answered with death. I couldn't see, but I tried my best to look straight at the king. Yes, kill me. I've been insolent and disobedient. The crowd flittered with gossip and shock. You'd have me execute you? The king asked, skeptical. Yes, sire. But let those who follow me work in peace. Ask they remain respectful, but let them work to make your kingdom better. Do not allow the parasite by your side to poison your thoughts. The priest hobbled over to me, cracking his staff across my face. Teeth skittered across the marble and blood stained my clothes. We will do no such thing. You will die, and your blasphemous science will die with you. The king stood from his throne. You will be executed tomorrow at noon, Khali. However, the only thing that will die with you is the priest standing over you. Yes, yes, my king. What? The priest howled in disbelief. My lord, you cannot be serious. The gods will rain hell upon you. Then we'll build a roof to withstand the heat, he retorted. Khali, I'm sorry I drove you to this point, but you've disrespected me too many times. To honor you, I will end this priest along with you and allow your students to resume your work. I think I could use a pair of glasses after all, for I was blind to the evil beside me. I smiled. Thank you, your grace. This decision, I can accept. My work ended with my sight anyway. Author's name and the link to original text in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And please join our channel. Thanks for watching.